Leather strips are not super rare in the game, but you need them to craft so many things. So today I'm going to teach you the best places to find leather strips, but more importantly, the best way to use the ones you have. If you're lucky, you might find as many as 5 leather strips in the green zone. Yellow and red zones have more, but the best place to get leather strips is in Cellars. As I mentioned in my tips and tricks video for this game, Cellars can be a death trap, so make sure to use the strategies that I explained in that video. You can also find leather strips at Odins, but Odins requires so many resources to complete that this is not a very cost-efficient place to find leather strips. So in reality, you can find leather strips in pretty much every area of the game, but there is no area in the game that has so much that it will meet that inevitable need. So in order to avoid insane amounts of farming just to get barely enough leather strips, you want to monitor how you use them. The first way to be careful with your leather strips is to never craft a club, bolas, basic sword and shield, staff of defense, bone mace, or staff of support. These are amazing items and you should definitely use them if you find them, but because they require leather strips, it is never worth it to craft them. The second way is to avoid raiding. Every item needed for raiding requires ridiculous amounts of leather strips. Now some people might show videos of them getting tons of leather strips from raiding, but some people also win the lottery. Raiding on average will never get you more leather strips than you use. That being said, if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, buying the raid pack is an incredibly good deal because one raid pack has the equivalent of 46 leather strips. This is of course very pay to win, but hopefully they'll make changes to this in the future. Another way to save leather strips is to avoid crafting the leather chest and pants. These are great items and you will want to build some of them at times, but as I mentioned in my video on the cheapest way to do Odins, building the leather boots and hood and then the quilted jacket and pants is the best combination for doing Odins on a budget. By not crafting those items and avoiding raids, it should make it a lot easier to craft the items requiring leather strips that are most important. These items are strong hatchets for maple, strong pickaxes for copper, and medium chests. 95% of the leather strips you use should be reserved for just these 3 items. So to recap, the best place to get leather strips is the Cellars of yellow and red zones, but you can get them anywhere. The trick is farming a lot, and then avoid making these items so that you have enough leather strips to make these items. Well, that's it guys, hope that helps. If you think of anything that I missed, please let me know in a comment below so that I can improve. Also, please remember that YouTube does not pay a whole lot, so liking, subscribing, or supporting me on Patreon are all ways that can help me make more content for you. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.